Wow, never thought we'd have to do jiu-jitsu like that before. At least we got the data to know why YouTube was down for 2 hours that one day. I better get back to the dojo. A lot to do. Welcome to Shihan's Dojo. I'm Shihan Marty Husband, and I've been here all year to help you build your martial arts skills and knowledge, or if you were trying to learn something about the martial arts, tell you a little bit more about it. If you haven't subscribed already, jab that subscribe button and punch the bell so we can notify you when we start our new season up. The question for today is really kind of funny. Can you name the martial arts influences that was in that little video clip? Whether subtle or direct, let us know in the comments down there so we can all have a discussion and see how many of you can figure out what martial arts movies I was trying to allude to. Today we're going to close out the season by just taking a few minutes to talk about what we did here this season on Shihan's Dojo. And after we're all done with that, then give you a little preview of what we're coming up with next season. Now that you've come this far and seen how silly I can be, let's take it a little more serious on why I would do something like that. Yes, for fun, but it was very important to show you through doing this, seeing how I considered martial arts training and building up on what you need to learn and know. Like the martial arts which I started years ago, I only really began video editing and doing all kinds of effects and stuff this year. Why? Mostly for this channel, but it's led to other things and I'm quite happy with it. The problem is when you start out editing video, you only start with the basics. You don't realize the type of cameras you need. You don't realize the type of editing you need or how to edit properly. It's still something I work on every time I do a video. But it's like that in the martial arts. When you start with something, you don't know exactly what you're doing. You might hear what it's like from other people, but until you put your hands right on it, you can't learn anything unless you're experiencing it for yourself. Book learning's great, but learning from other people's experience or knowledge, as well as making it pertinent to what you're trying to train, it's such a benefit that you can take and draw from that knowledge. Now, I didn't say all knowledge is useful to everybody. Don't get me wrong. If you're a brain surgeon, you wouldn't want to necessarily know about cuticle fungus. But the point is this: when you start with the basics, you can build off that foundation. It doesn't matter whether you're doing taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, karate, kung fu, it just really doesn't matter. But that base was always one of the main themes I had throughout this whole season. Like learning the martial arts and cross-training, I've come to figure out that it's necessary sometime to change the software that you're using or integrate the software you're using to become a better fighter or, in this case, a better video editor. Now, like the martial arts, you have to start somewhere. You can't just go off what other people's opinions are, and you can't go off just what you read in books. You have to apply what you're learning, and that was what I brought up with my TAP system that I talked about in the very first video when I started this season. Understanding the theory and application and process of the techniques you're using helps you to better become a sport fighter or a self-defense fighter, whatever you're focusing on. I think today a lot of people do not know what it means to really master something. They want a little of this and a little of that. but in the end they only get just what they put into it, a little of this and a little of that. But without that base, it would take you much longer. It would be like learning over and over again. And like when you're learning something new, when you learn a little bit of information, you play with it. That was what I called Piaget's theory and Gestalt's principles. Now these principles I firmly believe in and have seen people go up much faster by using these types of principles. These were all beginning principles that I hoped some of you out there would take to heart and really study. Furthermore, many of these videos I've broken down into playlists. Some of them have crossed over into other playlists, of course, but they're very much a section for each of you to take down and study. Now, next season, we're going to be building off a lot of these processes I set up the basic ideas for. We'll even be breaking some of those down into even more detail than what we did, kind of like what we did with the initiatives of fighting. We'll start breaking down fight plans. We'll start giving you basic ideas on jiu-jitsu and how to start training it. We will continue to build on ideas of self-defense, sport, anything you can imagine that I've worked with, I will try to share with you. It would take me years to actually teach you everything that I know in the martial arts. And even then, you're going to be able to improve on what I know. Because when I train people, I don't train them to be as good as me, but to be better than me. Now I'm always glad to have good skeptics out there with comments that are helpful or insightful, or just in helping me to produce better videos for you guys out there. Because that's what I want for you. And when I leave this world, that's my legacy I want to those out there, to share some of my knowledge for you guys out there to build on your own. If you have comments on how you'd like to see the videos improved, or some lessons you'd like to see, or ideas that you would like to enhance that I might be able to help with, I'll do my best to do it. Just comment down there. Let me know. The tentative time plan that we want to start back the next season will be sometime in February. I'll also be putting sprinkling of videos here and there between now and February, and also give some information of when we plan to start back up. So stay tuned for the announcements. Hit that subscribe button and get the bell so we can let you know when their new videos are coming out. And if you haven't seen all our videos, go through and check them out. With the holiday seasons approaching, I hope everybody out there has a good and safe holiday and everything goes well in your life. And don't forget, if you're training in the martial arts, don't forget to train. We don't want to end up couch potatoes and have to get rid of all that weight with everything we're going to eat this holiday season. Also, share these videos with your friends. Let them know about Shihan's Dojo, because maybe they have some ideas we can spark or help you guys out there with too. We hope to see you again here on Shihan's Dojo.